So what if I told you that Mr. Stitchy's true identity has been revealed? I have to admit, this is probably going to be one of my favorite theory videos, so make sure you sit back, relax, because I'm going to be getting into some dark secrets about Mr. Stitchy and our insolence monster in Piggy Book 2 Chapter 7. But if you do enjoy the video, remember to leave a like and share it, and also feel free to subscribe for more, and if you're new. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So first off, I'll quickly go over Mr. Stitchy, and then I'm going to tie the connection to Mr. Stitchy, the insolence monster, and possibly Penny. So Mr. Stitchy made an appearance first off when we summoned Mr. Stitchy during a Halloween event. Now when Mr. Stitchy appeared, it was in the forest, and then from the forest he goes into the cave and then leaves. And I do believe that Mr. Stitchy is another character under this face. Now we don't know if Mr. Stitchy is evil or friendly. That is not 100% confirmed, although every time we do see Mr. Stitchy, there is nothing good happening. But we do know that Mr. Stitchy has been also watching us throughout the chapters. So this is very interesting. So let's go ahead and head over to Piggy Book 2 Chapter 7, because this is where the connection is going to start taking place. So in Chapter 7, if you are to find 5 Mr. Stitchy eyes, these are, which is like the eye of insolence around the map, and if you knock on a door that says do not disturb, a friend will come out. Now I'm gonna break down why I think this is either Mr. Stitchy or an older or a newer version of Mr. Stitchy. Being that we have not seen Mr. Stitchy in quite some time, this is going to blow your mind. So let's go ahead and break this down. So I want to first start out by comparing the visual to it. So Mr. Stitchy is all black. If you look at everything from Mr. Stitchy, long arms, long hands, and yeah, a complete black skin. And it turns out that our friend in Piggy Book 2 Chapter 7, the insolence monster, is also all black skin, no face. I do want to mention that this is the only character in Piggy that has no face. Now if we think about this, there was a note a while back, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a note in the school, and this note said I gave him a face. Now again, I gave him a face. This character has no face. I gave him a face. I was his only friend. Now this was actually found by the exit door in the school in Piggy Book 1. And again, we now get a character who has no face. And before, we were all predicting that they were talking about Mr. Stitchy, so it's not too far-fetched to say that, hey, this is Mr. Stitchy, but kind of either before the face or maybe after it. Who knows? Now the hands look very similar and everything is just quite similar, except the fact that our friend now has no legs. So I don't know how well that ties into it just yet, but Mr. Stitchy is one of our tallest characters, and this almost seems to be one of our shortest characters. So who knows if this is just a version of Mr. Stitchy's, like they kind of grow and then they end up being as tall as Mr. Stitchy. Who knows if there's going to be like an army of this. So I thought this was quite interesting. I'm curious to see what you all think about this as well. And they also have this kind of scary jump scare sound effect as far as a, animation where they take you out. Now, this plays a lot into some of the older notes that we've actually seen, because we see these notes in Chapter 7, and we also saw these notes all out through Book 1. So some things I want to talk about is, do not draw the house with light. It will draw him too. Now, this was actually found in the forest. Now, think about this. In Chapter 7, we have a lighthouse. Also in Chapter 7, we have lights in the lighthouse as well. And I do find it quite funny that the very first note that we see in the forest, where it says do not draw the house with light, I mean, literally, if we had to think of any house with light, it's a lighthouse. And that is what I'm thinking this is a connection to Mr. Stitchy. And it's honestly, the lighthouse is right across from the do not disturb room where we find the insolence monster. Now again, we also have that note saying, you know, I gave him a face, which I really think that this was Mr. Stitchy's face before actually what Mr. Stitchy looks like. There were also some notes found in the carnival saying someone began to disrupt the countryside. Descriptions of witnesses matched his look. I never saw him again. That was found in the carnival. Also, how does this tie into Penny? I'm not exactly sure why this ties into Penny. I think because Penny came back around distorted memory, but there was a note in the carnival that also says, when he learned of my condition, he grew sad and frustrated. He left. So who's to say that this wasn't a friend of Penny? And when Penny learned of the condition of Penny, or even Mrs. P, let's just say that for an example, and Mrs. P or Penny is the one that gave this face, the insolence monster, the Mr. Stitchy face. And yeah, this is all kind of coming together full circle. I really want to hear your theories on this down below in the comments. Also, we have light the beacon, summon it, that was found in the sewers. And there was another note in the port which says, how far would you go for your safety, good friend? How about we make a deal? Now, this is very, very creepy, guys. Again, we have Mr. Stitchy eyes everywhere. And then we also have the insolence monster in the map. So what do you all think about this? Do you think there is a connection between the insolence monster and Mr. Stitchy? I will be very curious to hear your thoughts on this one. I know when we played Piggy Book 2 Chapter 7, we instantly said like, okay, we're gonna see if this character is possibly canon to the story, and I really feel like they are. So what do you guys think down below in the comments? But thank you all so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like and share, and also feel free to subscribe for more. And if you're new, I'm also going to be covering some videos about chapter 8. So if you want to know what's going to be going on with that chapter, that is set to release in a couple weeks. So yeah, be on the lookout for that one. But if you want to show your further support to me, you can always use star code BIGB2 when purchasing Robux or Premium. And I will see you in the next one.